Hello YouTube. Today's the joys of home ownership. It is a manifold on a Jandy filter. As you can probably see here, it cracked and I've been waiting forever to receive it, I guess due to this China virus. Certain things have taken a lot longer, weeks, where it used to be next day or 2 days with Amazon Prime. So really easy. I've taken this thing apart so many times, but hopefully I can save you some time as always. First thing as always, you want to make sure that the unit is turned off. Something that I've learned throughout the years, in my case, if you close the valve here, in my case, makes it a lot easier to drain the filter, a lot easier. In my unit, it happens to be a 9/16. So what you want to do is, this is right here, just after you turn the unit off, you want to slowly start backing this off. And actually, before you do that, let me show you something. Before you back that out, of course, you want to go ahead and open this up. Okay, and that's going to suck all the water out of the filter. So open this up until you hear no more suction coming out of here. Then it'll be safe to back that 9/16 out. Okay, so after you back that out, this ring right here, you should be able to open it. But again, don't open it if there's pressure inside. Make sure that all the pressure is out. I did not have to do it this time, but because of what I learned here with this valve. But eventually, no matter what you want to do, if all the water doesn't drain out as you've seen in mine, of course you want to open up the drain valve, which I have to do anyways because you want to go ahead and clean it out. So open up your drain valve. Okay, after you remove that, next thing you're going to do, you're going to be able to take the top off. As you can see, there's nothing else holding it in. If it's difficult to pull straight up, it's because there's still water draining in there, and of course that creates a suction. So of course open up your drain, and when there's no more water, it should be really easy to remove the top. Next thing you want to do is go ahead, of course, as you can see, this is disgustingly green because I had to wait so long for this to come in. But no matter what, you want to go ahead with your hose and clean this rubber gasket here really good all around. And next I will show you how to remove these panels here. Okay, next thing you probably want to do is go ahead and remove this, which just comes right off. And then you will find this on the top. Okay, and you unscrew this. Okay, and you want to go ahead and remove this right here, which just pulls straight out. Okay, and then you should see on the sides where it says lift here, and if you could see on that side, if it was cleaner, it would say lift here. So you want to grab that and pull it straight up. Okay, again, make sure you don't damage the gasket. Pull this right here straight up. Okay, you may have to play with it a little bit on here and on the other side, but in reality, if you do as it says, put your left hand here, your right hand here, okay, this will pull straight up. Next thing you will do is this right here. This comes right out. This just keeps your filter grids at the perfect distance apart on the top. Okay, so depending how bad yours is, this is really bad, the worst I've ever seen, and who knows how many years I've had this filter. But be very careful, because around this right here, it's very thin, and it could break off, and it would suck to pull this out and break it, then have to wait to get it, a new one in, especially under these conditions. So this, again, very carefully, just pulls straight up. Hopefully with this one you can see just how thin it is right there. So be very careful, pull this straight up. Okay, and if you've followed instructions so far, this is where you should be. Now what you want to do is pull these 8 filter grids out. They're just, you probably can't see in there, they're just sitting on the bottom plate there. There's nothing attaching them. So what you want to do, see which one it's easiest for you, and start pulling these units right here straight up. So that's what I'm going to do now. After removing the 8 grids, this is what you have left. Okay, then this is not attached to anything, so you just go ahead and pull this straight up. Then after you pull that out, of course, what you want to do again is make sure you clean this really good with the drain removed. Okay, so remove that, and of course this right here is just a rubber gasket. This comes off. Okay, clean this really good, clean that really good so it seals, and then we're putting everything back. Okay, after you've cleaned this really good, as you see there, then the next step is going to be to, of course, clean that thick rubber gasket before you put it back on. Okay, if you clean the gasket really good, it should fit in there very easily. You shouldn't have to force anything. If you do, you're probably putting it on wrong. Look carefully here, it's not round, so make sure you see how it goes on there. Okay, take a look. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and clean this really good, especially if it's as bad as mine, before you drop it back in. Okay, so again, this drops in, and the only thing with this is, of course, you will see there's an opening that goes right there, and right there, that's the only difference. There's one that should say small grid. There's one grid that's smaller than the other 7, total of 8. So that's the only thing you need. I mean, it's pretty easy, just drops right in. Okay, this is, I'm sure you know, this is what a clean grid should look like. The only thing here that I would recommend is start with right side up as you're cleaning it, and then as you're finishing, make sure that the top is down, so that if anything went inside the grid, make sure nothing is in there and it's nice and clean. The grid just go back the opposite, of course, of how they just came out. And then of course, remember that one that says small grid. Okay, here's all the grids in. Remember just this one here, that you'll see it on the bottom in this area, that says is the shorter one. You see it's the only one that's shorter than the other 7. Okay, main thing with this is make sure you put it right in that area on the bottom that's marked, and make sure they're all even. Make sure they're all even on the top. If not, as you tighten down with the next piece that comes on, you will break it. You will break them right here. Okay. Okay. Next is the manifold here. What I would recommend here is wet the inside so that it slides easier here. This manifold came with the gasket, so I'm going to put the new gasket on, and that's really easy, just slides right out. If you didn't, this is the original right here, and I've never had a problem. So okay, so again, make sure that you wet the seal there and this here, so it'll slide in easier. Very important. Look down here as you're gently putting this down, and as you're doing that, make sure each one of these, okay, it's going in, because if you're not careful, 1, 2, or 3, you know, can be out of place, and you can break them. Very easy to break these. So again, be very careful as you're putting this in. That's what it should look like after you're done. Okay, this right here, again, be very careful as you're tightening this, not too tight. And again, that these are lining up, and I didn't say last time, also this, okay, on every single one, okay, make sure this is right between these two and not being pushed down, because it will break. Okay, next is the rubber seal. This one came with this seal also, and then go ahead and slide that in, okay, and wait for the next piece coming up. Okay, and then this is the way it should look like right there. Okay, next thing you want to do is clean around the rim where that is going to sit with the gasket really good, and drop that straight in. Okay, as you drop it in, the main thing here is to make sure you look all around. It should be the same distance, and of course this should be the same all around, to make sure you properly put that in, and of course that rubber seal didn't move. Okay, the metal ring is next. Easiest way I've found out is just to slide it in, open it up and slide it in from the back. Hopefully you have at least this much distance, and that will make it the easiest. Then try to put it as tight as you can by hand there, so you can fit in that bolt. If you cannot get that tight enough to get the bolt in, of course you can take this completely out, or you can gently bang it here and here with a hammer, or if you have a large enough open-end wrench, you can also do that. Again, the thing is, remember, you have a gasket there and everything needs to be even. You can even hit it in the back on each side, making sure, again, the distance here is pretty close to the same all around. As you tighten it, again, I would recommend making sure that you have the same distance all around. I found out pretty much this is the only tool you need, a 9/16 and a ratchet. Of course, if you don't have that, then this would be the next best thing. Okay, as you see right there, and on the instructions it says make sure that this gap right here is not more than 1/16. If you don't have to, I would not recommend it tight. I would recommend leaving that 1/16, simply because as the years go on, it's just, you know, maybe loose if you over tighten it too much the first time. Next, if you took this off, you want to just screw it back on to the top there. Only because my pool got so dirty, this is another trick that I use. I cut a piece of a towel long enough to do this, so it won't get sucked in by the pump, and cover the back, only the back of this right here before I put it on there. That way it's going to catch a lot of the bad stuff when I first turn it on, before I put the powder in. So that's it right there. After it's in, how it should be. Make sure there's water there before you start it. Of course, I'm sure you know by now. In my case, really simple. Just put this on, put both sides on, hand tighten that, and put the drain back on there before you turn it on. Okay, so hopefully I've checked everything, and the couple of beers I've had while doing this in this hot weather hasn't messed me up. No, I'm just joking. So again, I did this, remember, so the water would stay there. So in my case, I like to open it, fully open it, make sure these are also fully open, and here we go. Oh, forgot. It's can't be auto because it's after. So again, got that piece of towel in there. That's just me. If you do that, make sure you did it properly, so it's not going to get sucked in and destroy your pump, your impeller, I should say. So there it goes. Eventually, as this fills up, you'll start hearing the air come out, and then when the water starts coming out of right there, you can close that. Sorry about the loud music in the background, but I love music as much as many followers tell me they hate my music. So hopefully you can hear the air. And there you go. So now you want to close this off. Everything there should be fine. The service light is on. Because the filter was so dirty, I'm going to have to clean that out. I'm not going to continue the video. It's too long as it is. But you can just, in my case, I can close this even while it's on, unscrew this, clean that little filter, and put it back together. So again, oops. Okay, again, as always, if you liked the video, if it helped you, please like it. Subscribe to the channel for more repairs around the home, and share it if possible. Patriot Marine out. Thank you.